being funny is serious business in South Africa. You only have to ask comedian and satirist Anton Taylor. Why? Because his home was raided for having a laugh at the expense of the suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. Because here's what happened. Anton posted a tongue-in-cheek video pretending to be an underworld kingpin who had bribed Senzo Mchunu with a BMW and 3 sex workers. But for Senzo Mchunu, it was no laughing matter. He branded the video as insulting and extremely cruel, so much he went and pressed charges against Anton Taylor. And then you know what happened? You had the Hawks descend on his home. They sent the Hawks from Pretoria all the way to Cape Town. Why? Because his crime of having a laugh, of being a satirist, holding up a mirror to those in power, was classified as a crime against the state, on par with treason. This is just a small clip of Anton's video.
Guys, we are catching Mkhwanazi. We did it. I'm so happy, guys. We're catching him. It's like Christmas or day my divorce comes through with my third wife. That, as you know, I am the foreign criminal in South Africa. And I'm making a lot of money off the drugs, the hijackings, and the cash in transit. But this general Mkhwanazi has been big problem, okay?
Apologies for that drop in there. We didn't have a too close of a listen, or we were too enamored by the delivery of Anton Taylor. Good morning, Anton. Really appreciate your time. Have you updated your social media bio now? Also accused of crimes against the state for having a laugh. Good morning.
Good morning, Lester, and good morning, Cape Town, CapeTalk. Firstly, Lester, I always follow your clips on Instagram, so it's a very a significant moment of my life to be here on your show. You're always a voice of reason, and lovely to chat to you this morning.
Look, the feeling is mutual because I know your work from social media as well. And if anyone from the Hawks who may be listening in, I want to know from them, has anyone decided to scroll up or down on your social media page? Because if they did, they would see that you play a number of characters all in the realm of political satirical comedy in South Africa.
Well, it's funny you say that, Lester, because in the Hawks captain's defense, he seemed quite apologetic when we went into their offices and he explained what was happening. And he said he'd obviously been very familiar with my social media work, and it was very clear that there was a lot of pressure on him to act. And he did say to me, there are some really bad, the Hawks is out there to get organized crime, trafficking, drug rings. So he did seem, in his defense, quite aware of how ridiculous it was, but it was very clear that from up top, they were really serious about it, and I think quite serious about making my life difficult.
So do you believe this was simply a particular targeting of your work because a now suspended Minister of Police, his feelings were hurt because you made a laugh. You made a satirical point of pointing out just how closely involved, allegedly, many members of the South African government and police services are so close to organized crime?
Well, to be honest, I have two theories. It could just be that he was offended and he thought, okay, well, and as we know, General Mkhwanazi would later on, and this was when my phone was still with the Hawks, he would make a press conference accusing Mchunu of alleged, involvement and interfering with police affairs. So the one theory I have is that he just got upset and abused his power. The other theory is that he perhaps thought I was getting inside information because in the offending video, I almost predicted that Mkhwanazi was going to come for corrupt politicians, including Mchunu, in the future. So, for me, why did he want to get a triangulation of my location? Is one of the things I wonder. He could have just, sent me a DM.
So just for clarity, you posted this video in March this year. Your home was raided in June. The bombshell allegations by Anton Taylor was only made just over a month ago. So you've been under the radar of Senzo Mchunu for quite some time now.
Absolutely. And when I had handed in my phone, so they raided, I think, my house on the 18th of June. I probably thank my blessings. I was out the country visiting my sister and brother-in-law in the States. When I came back, I still didn't know what I was, what the charge was. I handed in my phone. You can imagine I'm quite stressed, Lester, and thinking, it's the Minister of Police. The following Sunday, Mchunu comes out and makes these statements. And in my case, I certainly felt quite vindicated. And a week later, Mchunu was suspended. So honestly, thanks to Mchunu, my cortisol levels were able to sort of reduce quite considerably in the space of 10 days.
Do we have a reprisal or a return of that particular character that you, on the nose, points to just this organized crime boss, fictional organized crime boss, who has in such close cahoots with South African politicians? Has he not unintentionally made you a very famous and hopefully a very rich man by a character that was all thought up in your head, that you put online and you got raided for?
Well, look, the money hasn't come, but certainly there's been a lot of interest and increase in followers. Geez, literally I go into a shop and they all go, "Are you okay?" or "The police are after you." So it certainly brought me a lot of attention. And as you were saying, Lester, I do go for everybody. And when I was sitting in America, I couldn't understand what I'd been raided for. I really am a law-abiding citizen. I don't think I've got unpaid traffic fines. But if you were to tell me it's because of a social media video, this would have not featured. In terms of, I believe politicians are fair game, and in terms of the things I've said about political figures, this was honestly really completely innocuous.
Anton Taylor, really appreciate your work. You can find out more of his work. Go to I Am Anton Taylor on Instagram. The work of the satirist at this point in South African history, it is critically important.